Hey, I'm Kenneth Wajda. I'm a professional photographer here in Colorado. Welcome to another one of my photo chats, gear talks about real world experiences. Today I'm going to talk about this lens. It's a really mighty macro lens. It's not that expensive. It's a 105 2.8 micro Nikkor. It's micro is what they call their macro lenses. And I've seen them sometimes with a pretty stiff focus, which you can get those kind of cheap. I've seen them even at camera stores. But the idea of a 105 macro lens means you don't have to be right up against it like a 55 would make you need to be physically close to a flower or a bug or whatever you like to shoot that's tiny. But I use this a lot. And I have an autofocus version of this for my commercial work. And this manual focus one I use for just a lot of things where I want to be able to carry a short telephoto with me, but I don't want any limit on what I can do for making close-ups or for getting in closer to things. A regular 105 is going to have a limit of 3 feet or something to get focus, and this one goes down half that distance. And I just think it's one of the best values, both this and the 55 2.8, but of the two, I like the 105 better. I actually use the 55 for copying, direct scanning photographs of my negatives to put them into a digital format using a light box and a copy stand. The 55 works great for that. And both of these, I think because they're older AIS manual focus lenses, they don't command much of a price, but the quality is incredibly good. And I bet a lot of these weren't used all that professionally to a really, rough extent, because most of the time if you needed this, you needed it for a shot. You didn't need it constantly. So the photographers working in the field weren't picking this up all day long and bouncing it around and getting it all beat up. This one's in great shape. And like I said, I think it's one of the darlings of macro work, both the 55 2.8 and the 105 2.8. They're simple lenses that you can use. If you get one that's so tight it's locked up and you can get it for a song, you can always have it focus at minimum focus and then move the camera in and out until you get the flower or the bug or whatever you're shooting as big as it can be. That's the beauty of a macro lens. In fact, I often say if you're shooting outdoors and there's flowers and they're moving, shoot it at a wide open aperture if you want to get shallow depth of field, but then just physically move in and out and see what's coming at the focus. It'll keep changing and the focus plane will keep moving back and forth across the flowers, and you don't have to be doing this, you can just be doing this. And that makes a huge difference in having a chance to really get what you want in focus and seeing the possibilities when you're moving that plane of focus forward and back. And then you're also able to use a faster shutter speed because you're using a wide aperture, so you can stop the wind from blowing it around and making it all blurry, unless you want it blurry, which in that case you could stop down and let it blow long and hard and you'll get a nice soft blur. But close up. All right, that's today's photography talk. Real world experience with a Nikkor 105 2.8. Hey, if you're enjoying these, hit the subscribe button. If you can support, hit the Patreon. I appreciate my supporters. Maybe you could be one. And I will be back next time. We'll talk more photography. As always, here's to good light.